Hello. I'm very proud of myself that I got this going. Oriented. Oh, goodness. Oriented the right way. That sound was supposed to be off. And I got it going the first time. So, all good things. Now, I did hear, hi, Miss Marilyn. I did hear that Hemingway Jones is doing a live at the same time. And I did have someone comment asking if I could change my live. What I think I'll do is maybe try to do another one on Thursday for those that are going to spend some time with Hemingway. I can't compete with that. Oh, okay. Well, even better if he's not going live today, then it will just be us. Oh, hello. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. My mama is here on this live, and hopefully she does not spill any secrets or anything. But yeah, she is here. All right, so I'm just getting myself nice and oriented. And by oriented, I am going to get into, hi, Kaz. How are you? I'm going to get into my work email and pull up my sent email because that for me is one of the easiest strategies for tracking some of the things that I did. Hi, Tina. Welcome. And I don't have a ton of emails that I sent out today. It was kind of a all over the place day, and that just is what it is. Okay. So I did get a little workout in today, and by workout, I mean I walked around the block. I did work on some student debriefing. I am going to jump around a little bit. I spent some time at the middle school today, and I did my workout, budgeting, skincare. I started working on my journaling, and I'm going to be doing my memory keeping today. All right, and then looking at my emails. So I put in a fob request. The school that I work at, they are moving over to a fob system this year, and I'm district-wide, so I'm really hoping to get that fob quickly, so I can stop bothering the secretaries. Miss Marilyn, you made partner? That's awesome. Congratulations. I missed that. I definitely did not see that, so I'll have to go back and I think I saw that you did a live yesterday, so I'll have to go back and look at that. I confirmed a 6th grade consult. Got a little love bug that has significant social anxiety, and the way that that manifests itself is sometimes that student can't make it to class. And they had a teacher confront them in the lunchroom about skipping class, and that caused the student to severely shut down for the rest of the day. And the teacher emailed the parent, and the parent said, not know my child's diagnosis. So we're doing a meeting tomorrow to go over the symptoms of that child's disability and how the team can support that student. I did set up a, which I already confirmed the time, but a middle school consult calendar invite. So I sent that out today because if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. And I worked with a special educator on their behavior data tracking. And I also provided some information to the parent about how their child is doing and started to set up that automaticity so that I don't have as much, or we all don't have as much to do on an ongoing basis. It just is automatically available in a meaningful manner to that parent. So they already got back to me and seemed pretty grateful for that. And then I received some new pajamas, which I am wearing right now. That was a gift from my mom as a congratulations for making 1,000 subscribers. I do love pajamas, especially a matching set. It just makes me so happy, and this is a really soft set. So things like that, I'll put notes in my planner so I can look back on it. Even like, for example, yesterday I had a lot of stuff done with my car. So I noted that I had my transmission fluid flushed, which actually I should put that I have 82,000 miles because I think it needs to be done every 60,000. I think, but they did give me a little lecture that I was over $20,000 past that. And then I also attempted to go for my annual blood work, but the hospital near me, the computers were down, and it's fasting blood work. So they asked me if I wanted to stay and wait. And I very politely said, no, thank you, because myself and fasting is not going to go well. So I just kind of gave up on that, and I'll try again on another day. And then, oh, sorry. The other thing that I did right before jumping on here was the charity board that I'm on, Pay It Forward. I finalized the meeting minutes and I disseminated them. And I think it's Thursday night is our next board of director meeting, which reminds me I do need to pull up. Oh, it's actually tomorrow night. I'm glad that I checked, which I do have here. My son has a soccer game on Thursday night. I think that's it. All right. I have a couple, my massages and facials that I've been going to. The person that typically does my massages is out for an unknown period of time. So I had to reschedule, or they asked me to reschedule a whole bunch of things, but they ended up calling me tonight that they only need to push back the time for one of them. The other one they were able to keep, but I'm going to be with a different masseuse. Yes. Miss Marilyn, are you talking about my charity? Because if so, I agree. It is. We've done this charity as a football playoff survivor. But what we're learning as we're going through the process of officially applying for to become a charity is that it has gambling involvement, so that's going to complicate things. And so as board members, we're not going to be able to participate in the Survivor Playoff League. And so what we're thinking of doing is, instead of us doing our picks and paying for picks, we will put our PIC money towards the fees associated for this platform that we're considering using that will track everyone's PICs and when people are disqualified and things like that, because we've been doing it manually for years, and that literally takes hours of time every weekend to do that. The pen that I am using right now is a Esterbrook SD in Petrified Forest, and it's inked up with Sailor 50 States, Massachusetts, and this has a extra fine nib. So I'm going to go through my day today. I did note a couple of spots yesterday that I did some work while I was waiting for car stuff to get done. I figured I'd get a little bit of work done. This morning I did decide to sleep in just a little bit because I did not get a good night's sleep last night. So instead of doing my morning workout, I decided to sleep, and first day of the work week, I always wash my hair, which is very long, and it takes a long time to comb out. So I decided to prioritize a little bit of extra sleep. So I did my shower. I actually did some journaling and budgeting in the morning. I got to work a little on the early side, so I was there by 7:30. And then I needed to leave right at 2:45, but I did not. I was there until 3. And I had a team meeting this morning for a young man that really needs kind of a come to Jesus, not to make it religious, but he needs to get his stuff together if he's going to meet his life goals. And so we met with he and his family to talk about all of that and how we're going to support him, but he needs to participate and all those wonderful things. So I had that this morning. I do have some tea for this evening. So I've got that I'm sipping on. And then let me think, what are some of the other pieces that I did today? I had a teacher consult at the end of the day. So this is where I get challenged to figure out what it is that I did with my day. I'm gonna have to come back and fill that out as I remember it. We had our oil company come this evening to do a tune-up on our oil tank. If you know, you know, when you live in the Northeast, you likely have your heat through oil, and you really should do a tune-up every year, but it's been 2 years since we've done a tune-up. And then I did dinner prep. We had dinner. I took Marley, our dog, for a walk. And then I did some journaling. Did a little snug with my son, and we had warm cookies. Yeah, so Miss Marilyn, it's fascinating for me when in this channel through comments or interactions with viewers that live in other countries, how flawed our healthcare system is and how expensive our healthcare is. And so I think whatever we can all do to support each other when we're going through a hard time with all of those health things is so important. Plus, it's just, I was reviewing the notes from our last meeting, and we're our current name is Pay It Forward, which is such a common name and a common turn of phrase. And we're talking about changing the name, but first we're creating a mission statement. And we talked about um, kind of, oh gosh, what are the words I'm trying to grab right now? Rebuilding our faith in humanity and building a community. Those were two of the pieces that were really important as part of our mission statement. So, and it's interesting because the students that I work with are very frequently the last week or so commenting how nice I am to them. And I very consistently say to them, I treat you how I want you to treat me. If I expect people to be kind to me, then I'm going to be kind to them. And it's a lovely natural conversation that we end up having. And even today, I said to one of the students, treat others, or sorry, I said, treat yourself how you want others to treat you, because the student was engaging in some pretty negative self-talk. Sometimes I feel like all I am is a life coach, um, and I'm here for it. I did do. There was a student behavior issue, and I've always been taught in my chosen field that the shorthand for behavior is BX. So that's where if you ever see BX, that is short for behavior. Oh, yeah, that was kind of a rough. Oh, I did a 7th grade observation, and I did I think it was somewhere around here, 6th grade observation. I joined for some laps at lunch for a little bit and had a chat with the assistant principal. And I did some data entry, because when I was reviewing data at the end of last week, I noticed that there was some chunks of information that were missing. And so I let the guardians know that and let them know I'd go back and backfill that information. So I was going through and doing that. And I also figured out a couple of errors that the paraprofessional was making that will guide my training for them. All right. Now I did start my journaling here just because I had some time, so I figured I would get on that. Yeah. So it's a number of years ago, I started to really immerse myself into the Google Workspace. And I ended up getting pretty good at using Google Sheets in relation to a Google form. So having a Google form that collected information and then funneling that into a sheet and then funneling that main sheet of all of the information and organizing it in a meaningful way for someone else to be able to look at and gather meaning from. And so I figured out all these, or learned all of these formulas and the query feature and so on and so forth. But it literally has been years since I've touched any of that. And so I'm having to relearn it all. And then it has been even longer since I've done graphing, let alone graphing on Google Sheets. And I'll tell you right now, Not a fan of Google Sheets. I'm having the hardest time figuring out how to graphically display the information in the way that I want it. And I am ready to kick old school with paper and pencil and draw some graphs myself. Might happen. So stay tuned. But yeah, Google Sheets is the bane of my existence right now. If I could use Excel, I would, but my workspace work, and that's what everyone is using. So, yeah, part of it, I'm just being very slowed down right now because I'm having to go online and do searches and literally reteach myself how to do this. And then, as wonderful as Google Workspace is, Google Sheets is not Excel. And so it's somewhat learning. It's kind of like knowing Spanish and needing to learn Portuguese. It's similar but different. And if you don't get those differences right, it's not going to translate the same way. At least that's how it feels to me. Yeah, so the bane of my existence currently is Google Sheets. And then not only am I trying to figure it out for myself, but I'm also trying to take Google Forms that other people have put together and format that. And that's kind of how I ended my work day today, which is why I was at work a little bit later than what I had planned to. And the poor person that I was working with, I'm probably just going to scrap what she put together and start over, because I can't get my mind to think the way that she put it together. Yeah. So, Miss Marilyn, darling, if I understand you correctly with the percent circle, you might be talking about like a pie chart where it equals 100%, but then the slices are broken down into the commensurate parts. So I do have one graph that I put together on Friday that is a pie chart, but I need at least 2 other graphs on top of the 2 that I've already put together that interpret the information in slightly different ways. Yes, you are welcome. And what kind of really gets to me in this process is that this is information that gets shared with parents, that parents might bring to physicians, that parents may bring to advocates and lawyers. So I can't just give them plain old numbers, because then their interpretation of those numbers may be different than my interpretation, or maybe lacking some contextual information. So I have to invest the time into these graphic displays and in order to make sure that we're all on the same page. Oh, Miss Marilyn, I cannot imagine being on 2 different chats right now. That's your mind is going in 2 very different directions, probably. All right, I'm just going to do a few more sentences here. Wonderful. And this pen is, this is a TWSBI Diamond 580 in white rose gold with an extra fine rose gold nib. And this is inked up with Birmingham Pen Company Blast Furnace, which is a really nice black that does have some nice shading to it. And I think if I were using a finer medium nib, the shading would be a little bit more predominant, but all the same, it is beautiful. Oh, excuse me. There we go. All right. So I'm going to cap this here. I hear... Oh, hello, DT Mama. Oh, thank you. I also really loved the colors this month. I'll go ahead and flip to that page. So it's definitely a lot of fall. And I think honestly the outlier is the Sailor 50 States, New Hampshire. However, black and gray to me are very fall-ish vibes, and a grayish purple is never out of season, in my opinion. But the browns and the reds and the oranges, and even for this spread, I just think it's lovely. And I mentioned this in my planning video this week. I think what I want to do for trying to think, definitely this week and these 2 days, but perhaps even starting this week, is alternate black, orange, black, orange, black, orange. So every other day alternates between black and orange, because I love Halloween. And I ordered some additional Halloween decorations. One of my friends showed me a picture. Hi, Priscilla. Welcome. One of my friends showed me a picture of a ghost that she made with a part of a white sheet and some black eyes, and she used a styrofoam ball from the craft store and put it on top of a tomato plant stand. And so it looks like this cute little ghost. And so I bought all the things to put that together. And the black fabric is arriving on the 16th. Everything else will be here this week. So probably by the end of this week, I'll have some ghosts in our front yard, and I'm so excited. Oh, Miss Marilyn, your birthday is on the 28th? Ah, happy birthday coming up. That's so exciting. Oh, I need to write that down. You always do such a good job of acknowledging everyone else's birthday. So I need to make sure I don't forget yours. And I'm going to do it in red. Let me guess, it's your 29th birthday. There we go. A level 41 human. Oh, so you and I are about the same age, huh? I'm liking my 40s. Good things are happening in this decade. All right. Well, before I sign off, does anyone have any questions or last thoughts that they would like to share? Any recommendations? I just started doing ink exploration with all the different colors. So I have about one video a week coming out, and I have it scheduled out for a number of weeks. So you will be seeing that. Priscilla, I tell everyone that I identify as 23. That's kind of my joke. And I actually said that recently in front of a 7th grade student. And she says, wait, what? And I said, oh, I identify as 23. And she goes, but I don't get it. You are 23. And I said, oh, you are just the sweetest thing. um, and then I had another student last week that was insistent that I was 20. When I said no, she said 30. And I said no. And she was mortified to hear I was 40. Go ahead. What is your question? Oh, yes. So I love it. It's right here. I was able to use it for my friend's wedding. So this is a pen that Miss Marilyn Darling has lent to me. I need to clean it. I need to send it back, but I do love it. And I think what I realize is I like having a flex pen, but between all of my other kind of artsy craftsy stuff, um, I don't necessarily have the need for it. So I have, let's see if I can get this in focus. I have this watercolor brush pen set by Scribbles That Matter. And I've had this for years and it's wonderful. And it is like paintbrush material. So it's really responsive to the pressure. I have the entire line of Touch Sign pens. I've got Tombos up the wazoo, and so I think for me, having a flex pen is not, I don't know. I'm not sure yet that I'm ready to pull the trigger on buying a flex nib pen. However, I was looking at the Pilot Falcon as a potential. Yes, Miss Marilyn, I did know that you teach calligraphy and you had a Patreon for it. Am I recalling that you're not doing the Patreon anymore? Yes. Sorry, I was just looking closely at the chat. Yeah, so here's the nib and look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And then it has this cap here, and this is how you use the piston mechanism. So this is a gorgeous pen, and very much so appreciated the opportunity to borrow it. Yes. All right. Well, without further ado, I am going to sign off. I may jump on again on Thursday, just in the event that there were people that wanted to join, but that chose to join Hemingway's live, which totally understand. He's kind of a big deal. Yeah. All right. So thank you all for joining. Yeah, Miss Marilyn, I will message you about that for sure. Yes. Yes. All right. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye.